So if you want to get yourselves comfortable, perhaps sitting on your bolster or a cushion from the beginning, and welcome to Stretch and Relax Movers. So for this session today, we're going to really be focusing on relaxing the mind and the body. So first things, find a comfortable seated position, and then maybe think about how you're having your arms and placing your hands. It could be that you want to open your palms up, out towards the sky, to the ceiling. And when you're ready, start taking some nice deep breaths. Firstly, just noticing kind of where your normal breathing is today. And then as you get a little more comfortable, see if you can slow that breathing rate down. Feel nice and heavy through the pelvis, through the belly, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the chest as it gently moves, and really try and bring the breath down low in the diaphragm. And even inhale to an even exhale. And just see what feels best for you today, if you are breathing in and out through the nose, or in through the nose, out through the mouth, or with the mouth. And then perhaps you want to start moving the shoulders, inhaling and lifting the shoulders and exhaling to roll them back and down, just encouraging a little more relaxation in the upper body. For today's session, we will have quite a bit of a focus on loosening the upper body and the back. Please feel free to keep the eyes closed down for the whole class. Or maybe you want to take in your surroundings. Trying to slow those breaths down. Enjoy that long inhale to exhale. And then on your next exhale, letting the ear float over towards the shoulder. Feeling a stretch on the neck, and then gently inhale to lift and exhale to float over to the other side. Being really mindful of how your neck is feeling today. And you can then continue that, moving with the breath, or maybe holding for a little bit on one side before you move over. Noticing any differences from one side to the other. That stretch runs along the side of the neck and into the shoulder. You can also place your hand gently on the side of the head, just to increase the degree of stretch there. Again, just floating from one side to the other, using your breath as a guide, and just really seeing how things feel today. Perhaps returning to the shoulder rolls if that feels more comfortable, or finding some stillness and holding the stretch on one side for a little bit longer. Remember, it's your body, you know what feels good, and just really take this time to tap into how you're feeling today and what your body needs. When you're ready, we're going to move into a deeper stretch on the back of the neck and upper back and shoulders. As you drop your chin towards your chest, interlace the fingers behind the back of the head and let the elbows draw in towards one another. And then moving with the breath, as you inhale, open the chest, open the elbows and lift the gaze. And as you exhale, rounding the back and drawing those elbows back together again as the chin comes down towards the chest. It's kind of like a bit of a seated cat-cow, but you've got this assistance from the hands, the arms, the elbows. That interlacing behind the back of the head really supports the neck. And then you can really explore that shape, moving as much or as little as you want into the upper body, and using the breath as your guide. The slower you breathe, the slower you can move. Make sure you're feeling really comfortable in your position as well, with your hips and your legs and your feet. There's no unnecessary tension anywhere else in the body. You could always take this kneeling, or with the legs long in front of you or out wide. So feel free to play around with things like that as well as you start moving a little bit more. You may find that you get a few little clicks and creaks in the neck, in the shoulders, along the spine, even across the front of the chest. So just being really mindful of those things. And when you're ready, gently letting the arms go, restacking the vertebrae, feeling a little longer. Maybe taking a shoulder roll, maybe even taking some big circles with the neck now. listening to how the body's feeling, what else needs a little bit more of a wiggle, or maybe some more stillness somewhere while you're still in this seated position. The aim is just to feel a little bit looser in the neck, shoulders, and upper back. We're going to go into a deeper shoulder stretch now. So popping one arm underneath the other, remember which one you've done first, and then maybe bringing the back of the hands to touch, or maybe wrapping all the way around with the forearms, and then the hands and the palms are reaching and tapping one another. And then we are lifting the elbows. That lift of the elbow will bring that nice stretch across the back of the shoulders. Stay long in the spine, stay open in the chest, and keep that nice length between the ears and the shoulders. And if you want to add a little bit of movement, you can draw the elbows in towards the belly button, and then as you inhale, lift the elbows and lift the gaze in the chest. So moving with the breath, similar to what we had before, but now we're in this twisted kind of eagle position with the arms to increase the stretch across the back of the shoulders. Feel free to hold one position a little longer if that feels good for you today, or to adjust the position of the arms at any point. And when you're ready, just gently letting that go, maybe taking a few little shoulder rolls there. And then this is where it was important to remember which side you did first. We're taking the other side. So crossing at the elbows, wrapping around with the forearms and maybe back of the hands, or palms touching. And then when you're ready, take a big inhale and lift the elbows. Increase that stretch across the back of the shoulders. Really nice big deep breaths as you hold this stretch here. Maybe even increasing that lift of the elbow and opening of the chest. Then when you're ready, maybe start moving and exhaling to draw elbows in towards the belly button, rounding the back and folding yourself forwards, and then inhaling to lift. Notice if anything feels different on the second side compared to your first side. Taking your time to move mindfully, feeling that lovely stretch across the back of the shoulders, maybe even a little bit into the back of the arms and the triceps. And then when you're ready, gently unfold, untangle, and give yourself a little shimmy shake there. We're going to make our way onto our bottoms so that we can then lie back. So I'm going to put the bolster horizontally, and it kind of is underneath my upper back. And then this is a really good time to just play around with how you want to have your arms and how you feel most comfortable with getting a big stretch kind of across the chest and into the shoulders. It might be that you want to grab some blocks or something that you can pop underneath your head so you're not feeling any strain in the neck. Once you've had a little wiggle around, find a comfortable position, opening the chest, maybe lengthening the arms or catching the arms, and then play around with the feet. It could be that you want to keep your knees lifted, maybe the feet go wider and the knees knock in towards one another. This can be really relaxing for the hip flexors. Maybe your legs are long, or maybe you want to have like a butterfly with the soles of the feet together and the knees opening, and then you can kind of figure out if you want a long butterfly or a small butterfly, and what feels best for your hips. We're aiming to then find that comfortable position so you can stay nice and still and really relax into the stretch. Taking those big deep breaths, noticing where you might be able to feel a deep stretch, maybe you're feeling any tension, and if there is tension or any kind of cramping or uncomfortableness, just moving your limbs about until you feel most comfortable. The bolster is helping us create this lovely arch in the back, which really opens the chest, and you should feel a stretch across the chest, maybe into your shoulders and then also into the back. If you can feel your mind wandering, maybe just concentrate on your breath, maybe using numbers or a breath mantra. And then going to gently bring ourselves back up to seated. So just take your time, and you're going to bring the bolster to one side of the mat. We're going to take a twist into the spine this time. So just take your time to lie down. Draw the knee towards the chest. Then you're going to carry that leg over across the body and then rest it on the bolster. So it might be that you've got kind of knee, shin, calf, foot all on the bolster. Maybe you're going to kind of move things around, whatever feels best for you. But the aim is that by having the floor slightly raised and this soft cushion beneath the leg, you can then just really relax and feel a nice stretch across the top of the hip, along the side of the thigh, and a twist into the spine. Then maybe extending the arm out and looking out over that shoulder. You could gently hold the hand on top of the thigh and add a little bit of weight there. You should feel like you can put a lot of weight into your bolster or your cushion and take away any big strain in the back so you can really relax. Taking big deep breaths here. And then gently getting yourself ready to do the same thing on the other side. So drawing the knee in once you're laid back down, and then carrying it across the body so you can rest it on the bolster now on the other side of the mat. Opening the other arm out, and then once you feel that nice twist in the back, maybe fidgeting, wiggling if you need, and then maybe looking out over that other arm to increase that stretch across the back of the body and the chest and the shoulder. Big deep breaths here, feeling a heaviness in the pelvis, in the thigh, and that opposite shoulder that's really pressing down into the mat. Maybe take a little rock and roll here, drawing the knees into the chest. Just get a little massage for the lower back. Gently letting the knees draw in and just feeling a little more looseness in the lower spine. We're then going to start making our way back up, but maybe to get there you want to rock and roll along the spine now. So a similar feeling, but we're just going the other direction and rocking back and forth. A little massage along the back of the body, and also a little test for the tummy. It also can be pretty fun. So rolling up and down, maybe even testing your core and your balance by having a little hold at the top. Maybe you want to try that a few times. Feeling a little longer, a little stronger each time you come up. Or maybe you've just already brought yourself safely to a seated position. It's just your time to kind of explore anything else you want for the back. We're now going to have the bolster long way, so having a vertical position along the mat. You can then pop yourself all the way on top of the bolster, so sitting on top and then lengthening the back along the bolster. Again, maybe using your blocks as something to rest the head on so there's no strain in the neck. Once you feel like you've got a good position for the body, you can then think about moving your feet. It might even be that you want to have the head down on the mat so you increase that arch in the back. And like before, it could be that you have the knees lifted or the feet wide, knees knocking in, or maybe finding that butterfly position. This is quite a deep stretch for the back, so just be really mindful of how your spine is feeling. You can also increase that stretch by lengthening the legs. And it could be that you want to stay here in this position, or it might be that you actually want to have your hips on the floor and then arching over the bolster and your head resting on the bolster. And this is a deeper stretch for the lower spine. So just have a think about what feels good for you. If you're keeping your whole back on the bolster with your hips also on the bolster, you want to feel this kind of spread of the rib cage over the bolster and really opening and relaxing over. And with the hips down, it's more of the arch in the back. Have a little play around with your arms, maybe opening wide or a cactus shape, or maybe reaching up over the head. You might want to open the rib cage a little more, maybe even lengthening the legs. To take some time to find the best position. And then just trying to find some stillness. Again, if the mind is wandering, maybe using numbers or breath mantra to keep the focus on the breath. If you can feel any places of tension, breathing into that space, encouraging more relaxation. Trying to close down the eyes, relaxing tension in the face and the jaw and the neck. Feel spread across the eyebrows. You're going to gently make your way back up. So you want to take your time, move your arms first and your legs, maybe push into the floor to help you come up. We're just going to counter that stretch. So where that was quite deep into the spine, arching over, we're now going to go the other way. So it can be quite nice to have the bolster under the thighs. And then relaxing the body forwards into like a fold. The head can drop between the legs. The knees can be really bent here. And just feel that counter pose, rounding the back the other way. Bringing the head forwards. We're now going to make our way onto all fours, and the bolster comes in front of you vertically. And we're resting on the knees, so just make sure you've got enough cushioning under the knees if you need here. And it's kind of like a puppy pose where our hips stay nice and high. And we reach the arms forwards, and then relax the body onto the bolster. It might be that you're looking one direction or straight forwards. You may want to stay there a little longer, or you may want to take the hips back into more like a child's pose. Sending the hips towards the heels. Maybe even opening the knees a little wider, and then having the bolster between the legs so that you can really relax the body. Feel a nice stretch along the back of the shoulders, under the armpits, all the way along the back of the body and down towards the hips, and then maybe around the outer hip and outer thigh. Taking some big deep breaths here. Again, playing around with kind of where you want to have your head, where feels most relaxed. Maybe bringing your arms back around and wrapping them around the legs and reaching towards the feet. Keeping the eyes closed down. Taking big deep breaths, letting the belly feel really heavy here. Melting down in towards the mat and down to the bolster. Taking your time as you transition from anything, if you're moving any limbs, body parts, maybe just really trying to surrender to the stillness. I hope you enjoyed our short little sequence with the bolster. Gently make your way to a seated position, take some nice deep breaths, or maybe stay a little longer in any of those poses. Thank you so much for moving with me. I hope to see you again soon.